Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship, the Defiant. He looked out at the stars through the big window. The lights twinkled like tiny diamonds against the black of space. Jake had been a ship captain for 15 years. He knew. Space was beautiful, but it could also be dangerous. "Lisa, send our daily report to command," Jake said to his communications officer. Lisa Parker sat at her control panel. Her fingers moved quickly over the buttons. She was good at her job. Very good. Lisa had worked with Jake for 3 years now. She trusted him, and he trusted her. "Message sent, Captain," Lisa said. "Command should get it in about 2 hours." Jake nodded. This was normal. Every human ship in space sent a report every 3 days. It was the rule. Command needed to know where everyone was and what they were doing. The galaxy was a big place, and humans were still new to it. The Defiant was on patrol near the edge of human space. Their job was to watch for trouble and help any ships that needed it. So far, the trip had been quiet. Jake liked quiet trips. Quiet meant safe. On the other side of the galaxy, Captain Ben Taylor was having problems. His ship, the Steadfast, had found 2 alien ships arguing over a trade route. The aliens were from different species. They did not like each other very much. Ben tried to help solve the problem. That was what human ships did. They helped keep peace in the galaxy. The aliens respected humans because humans were fair. They did not take sides unless someone was being hurt. "Send a message to the Vorthik ship," Ben told his crew. "Tell them, we want to talk." The Vorthik were crystal beings. They looked like walking diamonds. They were very smart and usually very calm, but today they seemed angry. Ben waited for an answer, and waited some more. "Sir, they are not answering," said his communications officer. Ben thought this was strange. The Vorthik always answered human ships. Always. They were polite that way. "Try again." Ben said, Still no answer. What Ben did not know was that his ship was no longer sending messages. Something had happened to all human ships at the same moment. But no one knew this yet. Far away, Admiral Carenstone commanded the biggest human ship in space. The Resilience was huge and powerful. It carried 5,000 crew members. Karen was proud of her ship and her people. The Resilience was near the Andromeda Gate. This was a special place in space where ships could travel very far, very fast. It was important to watch the gate. Many different alien species used it. "Admiral, we have a problem with our communications," reported the ship's engineer. Karen turned to look at him. "What kind of problem?" "We cannot send messages. Everything looks normal, but nothing is going out." Karen felt worried. A ship without communications was like a person without a voice. It was dangerous. "Fix it," she ordered. "Fix it now." The engineer ran to work on the problem. But no matter what he did, nothing worked. The Resilience had gone silent. Commander Pete Williams was closer to human space. His ship, the Horizon, was doing a normal patrol. Pete was young for a commander, only 32 years old. But he was smart and brave. Pete's crew liked him. He cared about them. He made sure they had good food and time to rest. Happy crews worked better. "Commander, something is wrong with our radio," said the communications officer. Pete walked over to look. The radio looked normal. All the lights were on. But when they tried to send a test message, nothing happened. "When did this start?" Pete asked. "About an hour ago, sir." "Right at 14:32 Galactic time." Pete wrote down the time. He had a feeling this was important. On the planet Vorthik Prime, Ambassador Crystal Song of Stars tried to contact the human ship Steadfast. She had been trying for 6 hours now. This had never happened before. Humans always answered. Crystal Song of Stars was worried. Her crystal body flashed with nervous colors. Red and orange lights moved across her surface. She called her assistant. Try to reach any human ship. Any ship at all. Her assistant tried for 2 hours. Ship after ship. Station after station. Nothing. No human anywhere in space was answering their calls. Ambassador, the assistant said, I think something has happened to all the humans. Crystal Song of Stars felt fear for the first time in many years. Humans were the peacekeepers of the galaxy. If something had happened to them, what would happen to everyone else? She sent an urgent message to the other alien empires. Human fleets are not responding. Need immediate council meeting. The message reached the Corvin Republic first. War Chief Krexval read it with growing alarm. The Corvins were warriors. They respected strength. And humans were strong. Krexval had fought humans once, many years ago. It was a small fight over a mining planet. The humans had won, but they had been fair afterward. They did not take revenge. They did not steal. They just wanted peace. But Krexval knew something about humans that others did not. When humans went quiet, it usually meant they were planning something big. Very big. Call my war council, Krexval ordered. Now, the news spread quickly to the other empires. The ethereal dominion heard it through their mind readers. The Zephyrian Collective learned it from their spy networks. The Nixari Trade Union found out when their merchants could not reach human trading posts, not in just one day. The entire galaxy knew the truth. Every human ship, every human station, every human colony had gone completely silent. No messages, no signals. Nothing. It was as if all humans in space had simply vanished, but their ships were still there. Their stations still worked. Their defensive systems were still online. The humans were there, but they would not talk to anyone. The 5 great empires of the galaxy began to panic. Humans controlled the most important trade routes. They kept peace between warring species. They had the most advanced technology. Without humans, the galaxy would fall into chaos. But why had they gone silent? What were they planning? And most frightening of all, what would they do next? The silence had begun, and with it, the fear of 5 empires started to grow. War Chief Krexval stood in his command center. His red eyes glowed with worry. Around him, his officers waited for orders. The Corvin Republic had the strongest military in the galaxy, except for the humans. How long since the last human message? Krexval asked. 18 hours, War Chief, replied his aide. Krexval growled deep in his throat. His people were warriors. They understood war better than anyone. And this silence from the humans felt like the calm before a storm. I have fought humans before, Krexval told his council. They do not disappear for no reason. When humans go quiet, they are preparing for battle. The other Corvin officers nodded. They had heard the stories. Human ships were smaller than Corvin ships, but they fought smarter. They used tricks and plans that no one expected. What do we do, War Chief? Asked General Vex Karn. We prepare for war, Krexval said. Call back all our fleets. Ready our weapons. If the humans want to fight, we will give them one. But even as he said this, Krexval felt afraid. The humans had always been fair before. Why would they suddenly want war? On the other side of the galaxy, the ethereal dominion was also worried. The ethereals were ancient beings made of pure energy. They could read minds and see into the future. But now, they could not sense human thoughts at all. Elder. Mindweaver Zephanon floated in his meditation chamber. His glowing form pulsed with concentration. He reached out with his mind, searching for any human thoughts in the void of space. What do you see? Asked his student. Mind touched Aresvel. Nothing, Zephanon replied. The human minds have not disappeared. They have been hidden, blocked, This requires great power and great skill. Aresvel felt scared. In all her years of training, she had never heard of an entire species blocking their minds at once. It should have been impossible. Master, what does this mean? It means the humans are working together. All of them. At the same time. This is ... double quotes. Zephanon paused. This is beyond anything we have seen before. The ethereals began to fear that. Humans had learned powers even greater than their own dot in the Zephyrian system. Queen Node felt something she had never experienced. Pure terror. The Zephyrians were like a giant family. Every Zephyrian was connected to every other through their shared mind. They could feel what their brothers and sisters felt across the galaxy. But the Queen Node was different. She was connected to billions of Zephyrians at once. She was the center of their hive mind. And right now, all of those minds were afraid. Report, she commanded her drones. A worker drone stepped forward. Queen Node, our scouts have reached human territories. The colonies appear empty, but their defenses are still active. Empty? Queen Node asked. What do you mean, empty? No life signs, Queen Node, but the power systems work. The weapons track our ships. The shields are up. It is as if the humans left, but their machines still guard their homes. Queen Nodes. Fear grew stronger. An empty human colony was frightening enough, but one that still defended itself was terrifying. Send more scouts, she ordered, but tell them to be careful. Very careful. The Nexari trade union was having different problems. They were merchants and traders. They cared about money and profits more than war. But the human silence was destroying their business. Trade. Prince Velcoro looked at his financial reports. The numbers were bad, very bad. How much have we lost? He asked his assistant. 40% of our trade routes go through human space, the assistant replied. Without human protection, pirates are attacking our ships. We cannot deliver goods. We cannot collect payments. Velcoro rubbed his tentacles together. This was a nervous habit of his people. What about the other routes? The non-human routes are becoming dangerous too. Without human peacekeepers, old. Enemies are starting to fight again. The Gorton are attacking Meldari ships. The Tikari have closed their borders. Velcoro realized the truth. Humans did not just control trade routes. They kept peace in the galaxy. Without them, everything was falling apart. Captain Quinn Issa brought even worse news. She had tried to visit human trading posts in the Centauri sector. The stations are sealed, she reported. All entrances are blocked. But inside, we can detect strange energy readings. Very strange. What kind of energy? Velcoro asked. Unknown, Trade Prince. Our computers cannot identify it. But it is very powerful. Much more powerful than anything humans used before. Back on Vorthic Prime, Ambassador Crystal Song of Stars called an emergency meeting. Representatives from all 5 empires gathered on the neutral world of Concordia. The meeting room was tense. Each empire blamed the others for causing the human silence. This is your fault, Krexmal accused the ethereals. You probably tried to read their minds without permission. We did no such thing, Zephanon replied calmly. Perhaps your people threatened them. My drones detected no hostile actions from humans, Queen Node added, but the Nexari might have cheated them in trade. We are honest merchants, Velcoro protested. Unlike some empires, we do not take what is not ours. Crystal Song of Stars flashed bright colors to get their attention. Fighting will not help. We must find out what happened to the humans. She shared what her scouts had discovered. Human colonies were not empty. They were full of activity, but not human activity. Our sensors show massive construction projects, she explained. Buildings that were not there yesterday. Technologies we do not recognize. And energy barriers that block our scanning attempts. Other ambassadors listened with growing fear. Krexval shared his military reports. Our ships tried to approach human military bases. The defensive systems activated immediately. But these were not normal human weapons. What do you mean? Asked Zephanon. The weapons fired before our ships attacked. As if they knew what we were going to do before we did it. Queen Node's drones had similar stories. Human space stations have changed. They are bigger now. Different shapes. Our computers cannot understand how they were built so quickly. Velcoro had the most disturbing news. Several worlds that bought human technology are having problems. Their power systems are failing. Their computers are shutting down. As if the human technology is being called home. The ambassadors sat in silence. Each piece of information made the situation more frightening. What are they building? Crystal Song of Stars asked. What are they planning? Added Krexval. How did they become so powerful so quickly? Wondered Zephanon. But the most important question remained unasked. The question that all 5 empires were thinking, but none wanted to say out loud. Were the humans still friends? Or had they become enemies? The meeting ended without answers. Each empire returned to their home worlds to prepare. Some prepared for war. Others prepared for evacuation. All of them prepared for the worst. The human silence continued. And with each passing hour, the fear of 5 empires grew stronger. In the depths of space, human ships continued their patrols. But they moved differently now. Faster. More purposefully. As if they had somewhere important to go. The galaxy watched and waited and wondered what the humans would do when they finally broke their silence. The 5 empires had tried talking. Now they tried action. Each empire sent their best ships and crews to find out what the humans were doing. None of them were prepared for what they found. Crystal Harmony of Depths commanded the most advanced Vorthic stealth ship. Her vessel could become invisible to almost any scanner. She had used it to spy on enemies for decades without being caught. Take us to the human colony of New Austin, she ordered her crew. New Austin was a farming world. Governor Matt Johnson ruled it fairly and kept good relations with alien traders. It should have been a safe place to investigate. The stealth ship arrived at the edge of the system. Crystal Harmony of Depths expected to see the normal farming settlements and small towns. Instead, she saw something impossible. What is that? Asked her science officer. The planet's surface was covered with massive structures. They reached high into the sky like metal mountains. Strange lights moved along their surfaces. Energy fields surrounded the entire planet. How long have we been away from this system? Crystal Harmony of Depths asked. 6 months, Commander. 6 months ago, New Austin had been farmland and small cities. Now it looked like a completely different world. Scan the structures, she ordered. Her science officer tried, but the scanners would not work. The energy fields are blocking us, Commander. I cannot get any readings. Crystal Harmony of Depths moved her ship closer. As soon as they crossed an invisible line in space, alarms started ringing. We have been detected, her pilot reported. Something is scanning our ship. The energy fields around the planet began to glow brighter. Then something hit their ship. Not a weapon, but some kind of energy wave. All their systems shut down. Emergency power, Crystal Harmony of Depths ordered. The backup systems came online, but barely. Commander, whatever hit? U.S., it disabled our main engines. We can move, but slowly. A message appeared on their communication screen. It was not spoken. It was written in perfect Vorthic language. Leave now. Do not return. This is your only warning. Crystal Harmony of Depths had no choice. Her ship limped away from New Austin, leaving more questions than answers. Battle Commander. Vextorn had better luck at first. His Corvin strike force was built for war. Fast ships with heavy weapons and strong shields. If anyone could break through human defenses, it would be them. Vextorn chose to investigate Admiral Susan Carter's former base in the Proxima system. It was a military target, which meant he could use military methods. All ships prepare for battle, he commanded his fleet. The Corvin ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. Vextorn expected to see a normal human military base. Instead, he found something that hurt his eyes to look at. The base was still there, but it had grown. Structures twisted and curved in ways that seemed impossible. Some parts of the base appeared to exist in several places at once. Others flickered in and out of reality. What kind of technology is this? Asked his weapons officer, Dot. Before Vextorn could answer, the base's defenses activated. But these were not normal weapons. Beams of light bent around his ships like living things. Space itself seemed to twist and fold. Evasive action, Vextorn ordered. His ships tried to dodge, but the weapons followed them. Not by tracking their movement, but by appearing where they were going to be. One of his ships fired back. The missile flew toward the base, but suddenly it was flying backward, heading straight for the ship that launched it. All ships retreat, Vextorn commanded Dot as his fleet pulled back. He watched one of his ships get caught in a strange field. The ship began to stretch like rubber, becoming longer and thinner until it looked like a metal string. Then it snapped, back to normal size. The crew was alive, but terrified. Sir, we were moving through time differently, the captain reported. 5 minutes passed for us, but our chronometers show we were in that field for 3 hours. Vextorn had seen enough. Whatever the humans had become, they were far beyond Corvin military power. The ethereal Dominion tried a different approach. Instead of physical ships, they sent their most powerful mind readers to probe human space psychically. Mind-touched Arisvel led the mission. She and 5 other ethereals focused their mental powers on Dr. Alex Turner's research station in the Vega system. At first, they felt nothing. The mental shields around human space were too strong. But Arisvel was determined. She pushed harder, using all her training and power. Suddenly, the shields opened slightly. For just a moment, she glimpsed what was behind them. The scream that came from Arisvel's mind echoed across the ethereal home world. Every ethereal felt her terror and pain. 3 of her companions fell into deep comas. The other 2 lost their telepathic abilities completely. When Arisvel finally recovered enough to speak, her words chilled every ethereal who heard them. They are not human anymore, she whispered. They are something else, something vast and connected and dot, and beautiful and terrible at the same time. Elder Zephanon tried to get more information from her, but Arisvel could only repeat the same words over and over. They are becoming. They are becoming. The Zephyrian Collective sent their largest swarm to investigate. Millions of small drones moved through space toward human territories. The Queen Node believed that even if humans could stop some drones, enough would get through to gather information. The drones reached Dr. Alex Turner's research station first. What they found defied all logic. The station was still there, but it had been transformed. It now existed in multiple dimensions at the same time. Parts of it were visible in normal space. Other parts flickered in and out of reality. Some sections seemed to be made of pure energy instead of metal. The drones tried to scan the station with every sensor they had. The readings made no sense. According to their instruments, the station was simultaneously very small and incredibly large. It was moving very fast and completely still. It was made of metal and energy, and something else that their computers could not identify. When the drones tried to get closer, they began to change. Some became larger. Others became smaller. A few split into multiple copies of themselves. Several simply disappeared. The Queen Node felt each drone's confusion and fear through their shared connection. The experience was so overwhelming that she had to cut the mental link to protect herself. Of the millions of drones she had sent, only a few thousand returned. The rest were still at the station, but they no longer responded to her commands. They had become something else. The Nexari took the safest approach. They sent unmanned probe ships to human trading hosts. The probes were designed to gather information without putting any lives at risk. The first probe reached a human trading station in the Alpha Centauri system. The station looked normal from the outside, but it was completely sealed. No ships could dock. No signals came from inside. The probe tried to scan the station's interior. For a moment, the sensors worked. They detected massive energy sources inside the station, power levels that should have melted the station's hull. But somehow, the structure was containing and channeling that energy. Then the probe's instruments began showing impossible readings. The station's mass was increasing rapidly. Its size was growing, but visually it looked exactly the same. The probe sent one final transmission before its sensors overloaded. Energy signature matches no known technology. Recommend immediate evacuation of sector. Trade Prince Velcoro reviewed all the failed reconnaissance missions. Each empire had tried their best approach. All had failed. What are we dealing with? He asked his advisors. Unknown Trade Prince. The humans have technology we cannot understand. They have abilities we cannot measure. They have become something we cannot define. Velcoro felt a chill run through his tentacles. The humans had been traders and peacekeepers just days ago. Now they were something else entirely. The five empires had learned one thing from their failed missions. The humans were no longer the species they had known. They had changed into something far more powerful and far more mysterious. But the biggest question remained unanswered. Were these new humans still friendly? Or had they become the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known? Each empire prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. But deep down, they all knew that the old galaxy was gone forever. Whatever the humans had become, nothing would ever be the same again. The neutral world of Concordia had never seen such a gathering. Representatives from all five empires arrived with their largest ships and strongest guards. Fear had replaced diplomacy. Trust had been replaced by suspicion. The great council chamber was filled with tension. Each empire sat at their own table, watching the others carefully. Everyone wondered the same thing. Which empire had caused the humans to change? War Chief Krexval spoke first. His voice was loud and angry. One of you did something to anger the humans. They do not transform overnight without reason. Your people are warriors, replied Elder Zephanon calmly. Perhaps your ships threaten them. My drones report no hostile actions from any empire, added Queen Node. But someone must have done something. Trade Prince Velcoro waved his tentacles nervously. My merchants are honest traders. We have never cheated humans. But perhaps others have. Ambassador Crystal Song of Stars flashed frustrated colors. Blame will not help us now. We must share what we have learned. She activated a holographic display in the center of the room. Images from their failed reconnaissance missions appeared in the air. The transformed human structures looked alien and frightening. These readings are from Captain Roy Martinez's former research sector, Crystal Song of Stars explained. Our sensors detected energy patterns that should not exist. The hologram showed waves of energy moving through space itself. The energy bent light and twisted matter. It made space look like water, with ripples moving across its surface. The humans have learned to manipulate dimensions, she continued. They are changing the basic structure of reality. War Chief Krex Val shared his military reports next. Battle footage from his failed attack played for all to see. The other representatives watched in silence as human weapons predicted Corvan, movements, and bent space-time itself. "These are not normal weapons," Krex Val said. "They operate outside the laws of physics as we understand them. Our best warships are helpless against them." The footage showed Corvan missiles turning around in flight to target their own ships. It showed energy beams that arrived before they were fired. Most disturbing of all, it showed human defensive fields that seemed to think and react on their own. "The weapons are alive," Krex Val admitted. "They make decisions without human control." Queen Node shared her collective's analysis. The hologram changed to show the data from millions of Zephyrian drones. "The humans have not disappeared," she said. "They have evolved. Our sensors detected massive construction projects in every human system. Entire worlds are being reshaped." The images showed planets with their surfaces completely rebuilt, cities that reached into space itself, structures that existed in multiple dimensions at once, and everywhere the signs of incredible speed and impossible engineering. "How long would it take your people to build something like this?" Crystal Song of Stars asked. "Centuries," Queen Node replied. "Maybe longer. The humans did it in days." Elder Zephanon delivered the most disturbing news. He shared what mind-touched Ares Vel had experienced during her psychic probe. "The mental shields around human space are not just defenses," he said. "They are expanding, growing stronger. Soon they will cover star systems where humans had only small outposts." The hologram showed a map of the galaxy. Red areas marked where human mental shields had been detected. The red zones were growing, larger every hour. "At this rate," Zephanon continued, "the shields will cover half the galaxy within 1 month. We do not know what will happen to the minds inside those shields." Trade Prince Velcoro's financial analysis painted an even darker picture. His charts showed the economic collapse spreading across the galaxy. 17 worlds have lost power completely, he reported. Their human-built technology has shut down. Food production is failing. Transportation is breaking down. The other representatives listened with growing alarm. "The humans built the infrastructure for dozens of civilizations," Velcoro continued. "Without their technology, those worlds will not survive." He showed population projections that made everyone in the room feel sick. Billions of beings would die if human technology stayed offline. "But there is something worse," Velcoro added. "Our probe ships detected energy signatures moving between human systems. Massive objects traveling faster than light without using known technology." "What kind of objects?" asked Crystal Song of Stars. "Unknown. They are too large to be ships, but they move with purpose. Our computers estimate some are larger than moons." The council chamber fell silent. Each piece of information was more frightening than the last. Ambassador Crystal Song of Stars called for a vote. "We must decide what to do. Do we try to communicate with the humans? Do we prepare for war? Do we evacuate our border systems?" War Chief Krex Val stood up. His red eyes glowed with determination. "The humans have become too powerful. If we wait longer, they might become unstoppable. I say we attack now with everything we have." "Attack with what?" asked Queen Node. "Our weapons cannot hurt them. Our shields cannot stop them. An attack would be suicide. Then what do you suggest?" Krex Val demanded. "We try to communicate," said Elder Zephanon. "Perhaps they will explain what they have become." "They are not answering our messages," Crystal Song of Stars pointed out. "We have tried for days." Trade Prince Velcoro had a different idea. "We evacuate our border systems, move our people away from human space, wait to see what they do next." And abandon billions of beings to starvation? Queen Node asked. The worlds that depend on human technology cannot be moved. The argument continued for hours. Each empire wanted to protect their own people, but none could agree on how to do it. Fear was making them think only of themselves. Finally, Crystal Song of Stars called for order. "We are running out of time," she said. "Every hour we debate, the humans become more powerful." She shared the latest intelligence reports. The red zones on the galactic map had grown again. Human mental shields now covered twice as much space as before. "At this rate," she said, "the shields will reach our home worlds within weeks." The reality of the situation finally hit the council. They were not just dealing with changed humans. They were watching the birth of something that could control the entire galaxy. "What if they are not hostile?" Elder Zephanon asked quietly. "What if they have changed for a good reason?" "What good reason requires such secrecy?" demanded Krexval. "What good reason requires such power?" added Queen Node. But even as they argued, new reports arrived. Human ships had been detected moving toward the galactic rim, not attacking anyone, but moving with clear purpose toward the empty space beyond the galaxy. Why would they go there? Wondered Velcoro. There is nothing in that direction except empty void. The question hung in the air without an answer. The humans had become something beyond their understanding. They had power beyond imagination, and they were moving toward a part of space that no one had ever explored. The council meeting ended without agreement. Each empire returned to their home worlds to prepare for whatever was coming. Some prepared for war. Others prepared for evacuation. All of them prepared for the end of the galaxy, as they knew it. As their ships departed Concordia, none of the representatives noticed the small object following them. It looked like a piece of space debris, but it moved with too much purpose. To be natural. The object watched and recorded everything. Then it disappeared, carrying its information back to the transformed humans. The humans now knew exactly how the five empires planned to respond to their silence. And soon, very soon, they would break that silence with news that would change everything. The five empires had prepared for war, evacuation, or both. What they got instead was something none of them had expected. The truth. It began at the same moment across the entire galaxy. Every being with a thinking mind suddenly heard a voice. Not through their ears, but directly in their thoughts. The voice was calm, warm, and unmistakably human. "People of the galaxy," the voice said. "This is Admiral Grayskim, speaking for humanity. We apologize for our silence. It was necessary. Please do not be afraid." On Vorthic Prime, Crystal Song of Stars flashed bright colors of surprise. The voice in her mind was speaking perfect. Vorthic, not translated, but truly understanding her language and culture. On Corvin Prime, War Chief Krexval reached for his weapons, then stopped. The voice understood his warrior's heart. It spoke to him with the respect one fighter gives. Another, across the Zephyrian worlds, Queen Node felt the voice connect with her hive mind. But instead of invading or controlling, it asked permission before speaking. In ethereal space, Elder Zephanon marveled at the psychic power required to reach every mind in the galaxy at once. No ethereal had ever been so powerful. Among the Nixari traders, Trade Prince Velcoro wondered about the cost of such a communication system. The energy required should have been impossible to generate. "We know you are afraid," Admiral Kim continued. "We know our silence has caused problems. We know you have tried to investigate our worlds. We are sorry for the fear we have caused." In space above the five Empire home worlds, structures appeared. They had not been there moments before. They were not ships or stations, but something entirely new. Geometric shapes that seemed to exist in several dimensions at once. "We have changed," the Admiral's voice explained. "We had to change. But we are still human. We are still your friends. From the dimensional structures, new voices joined the conversation. Captain Steve Walsh spoke to the scientists of all 5 empires. Commander Amy Davis addressed the military leaders. Colonel Tom Bradley reached out to the engineers and builders. But it was Captain Jenny Adams who spoke to the common people of the galaxy. Her voice was gentle and understanding. "You want to know why we changed," she said. "You want to know what we have become. We will show you. But first you must understand the danger we all face." The structures above each world projected images into space. Holographic displays larger than cities showed the edge of the galaxy. At first, the images looked normal. Stars and empty space stretching into the void dot, then the images zoomed out further and further, until the galaxy itself looked like a small island in an ocean of darkness. 3 months ago, Admiral Kim explained, Captain Steve Walsh's research team detected signals from beyond our galaxy. Signals from something vast and hostile moving toward us. The holographic displays changed. They showed what looked like a dark cloud moving between galaxies. But as the image became clearer, the watchers realized it was not a cloud. It was a swarm of ships. Billions upon billions of ships. "We call them the Devourers," Admiral Kim said. "They have consumed 17 galaxies. They turn entire star systems into raw materials for more ships. They leave nothing alive behind them." The horror of the images struck every viewer. The Devourers moved like a living thing, flowing around galaxies and consuming them completely. In their wake, not even dead stars remained. "They will reach our galaxy in 18 months, the Admiral continued. "Our old technology could not stop them. Our old bodies could not comprehend them, so we chose to evolve." Captain Walsh's voice took over, explaining the science. "We merged our minds with our most advanced computers. We enhanced our bodies with nanotechnology. We learned to manipulate space and time itself." The watchers began to understand. The human silence had not been preparation for war against the galaxy. It had been preparation for war against something far worse. "The structures you have seen," Commander Davis explained, "are defensive installations. The energy you detected is shield generators. The ships moving to the galactic rim are our new fleet." Colonel Bradley addressed the infrastructure failures. "We had to recall our technology to upgrade it. The power systems that failed will be replaced with better ones. The transportation networks will be rebuilt to survive what is coming." But it was Admiral Kim who delivered the most important message. "We did not ask your permission because there was no time. Every day we delayed meant the Devourers came closer. But we should have trusted you with the truth." The structures above each world began to change. They opened like flowers, revealing incredible technologies inside. Power cores that bent space around them. Weapons that could fire across multiple dimensions. Shields that could protect entire star systems. "We offer you a choice," Admiral Kim said. "Join us in our evolved state and help us defend the galaxy. Or remain as you are, under our protection. Either choice will be honored." Captain Adams spoke directly to the fears of each empire. "To the Vorthik, we offer knowledge beyond your crystal's ability to store. To the Corvins, we offer battles worthy of your courage. To the Zephyrians, we offer connection to a hive mind that spans galaxies. To the Ethereals, we offer mental powers you have only dreamed of. To the Nexari, we offer trade routes among the stars themselves." War Chief Krexval was the first to respond. His warrior's heart recognized the truth when he heard it. "You became monsters to fight monsters," he said aloud. "This is honorable." Queen Node's billions of minds considered the offer together. "We feel your sincerity," she replied. "We will consider joining your collective." Elder Zephanon probed the edges of human thought and found only dedication and sacrifice. "You gave up your humanity to save humanity," he observed. "This is wisdom." Trade. Prince Velcoro calculated the benefits quickly. A galaxy-spanning civilization would create infinite trade opportunities, he said. "We accept your partnership." Crystal Song of Stars flashed the colors of understanding and gratitude. "You protected us by becoming our protectors," she said. "We thank you." Admiral Kim's voice returned, warmer now with relief. "We hoped you would understand. The old galaxy is ending, but a new one can begin. Together, we can face what is coming." The holographic displays showed new images. Human-designed ships working alongside alien vessels. Hybrid technologies combining the best of all species. Worlds protected by shields that sparkled with impossible beauty. The Devourers expect to find a galaxy of separate, weak civilizations, Captain Walsh explained. Instead, they will find a unified defense force armed with technology they cannot understand. Over the following days, the galaxy transformed. Ships from all 5 empires traveled to human space, no longer as spies or invaders, but as partners. The human settlements welcomed them with open arms and shared their new technologies freely. Some beings chose to undergo the enhancement process, joining the evolved human collective. Others remained unchanged, but worked closely with their enhanced neighbors. All were united in the common goal of survival. Captain Danny Brooks, now enhanced beyond recognition, showed alien engineers how to build defensive stations that existed in multiple dimensions. The stations could be attacked in normal space, but would remain protected in others. Former Governor Matt Johnson, his consciousness now spanning an entire planet, coordinated the construction of evacuation centers for civilians. If any worlds fell to the Devourers, their populations could be moved to safety instantly. Real Karen Stone commanded the new combined fleet. Ships that had once belonged to different empires now fought as one force. Their weapons were powered by technologies that turned thought into energy. The galaxy prepared for war, but it was no longer a galaxy of separate empires. It had become something new, a true galactic civilization, when the Devourers finally arrived. 18 months later, they found something they had never encountered before. Not a collection of weak civilizations to be consumed, but a unified defense force that fought with the power of stars themselves. The war that followed would be remembered as the greatest victory in galactic history. But it was also the end of the old galaxy and the beginning of something far greater. Humanity had given up their individual existence to save everyone else. In doing so, they had created not just a defense against the Devourers, but a template for what all life in the universe could become. The 5 empires had feared human silence. In the end, they learned that the silence had been humanity's greatest gift, the quiet determination to sacrifice everything for the sake of all life in the galaxy. And in the years that followed, as new threats emerged from beyond the void, the galaxy stood ready, united, enhanced, and utterly unafraid. The humans had kept their promise. They had remained humanity's protectors, even when humanity itself had to evolve beyond recognition to do it.